If you've seen my channel, you know that I test voice AI platforms and score them on a framework I've built from years of running a contact center. Today, I'm testing Hume AI, a company that claims their voice agent can actually read your emotions and respond with empathy. Google thought that this was compelling enough to acqui-hire their founder into DeepMind. They are projecting $100 million in revenue this year. And their core pitch is unlike anything else in voice AI: emotional intelligence, not just speed or accuracy. I'm going to sign up, build an agent, run my standard test calls, and score it. Can an empathetic AI actually change the conversation? Or is it just marketing? So stay tuned for my verdict and whether or not I press 0. Before we get there, what is Hume AI? Quick context. It is a research lab and technology company. They are focused on emotionally intelligent voice AI. They were founded in 2021 by Alan Cohen, a former Google researcher with a PhD from UC Berkeley. They have raised close to $80 million, and in January 2026, Google DeepMind signed a licensing deal and hired Cohen and several other top engineers to improve Gemini's voice features. The new CEO, Andrew Ettinger, says Hume is on the track for $100 million in revenue this year. Their core product are Octave, that is a text-to-speech model with emotional intelligence, and EVI, the empathetic voice interface. EVI is a speech-to-speech system that listens, detects emotions, and responds in real time. It supports interruptions, back channeling, and can follow emotional instructions like, whisper fearfully or sound reassuring. They also have an expression measurement API that can analyze emotions from your face, voice, and text. That's not something I've seen in any of the other voice AI platforms. The pricing starts free with 10,000 characters per month. Paid plans range from $3 to $500 a month. Much more accessible entry point than the retail AI's $10 credit model. So now let's see if the product lives up to the research. I created the account on Hume and it took me under 3 minutes to really get started. On the onboarding page, it just asked me 4 questions. What is my first name? What is my last name? How did I hear about Hume? And what am I most excited to build with Hume? Pretty quick, and here I am in their dashboard. And just an FYI, they did not ask for any credit card information. Once in the dashboard, I see these 6 tools on the home screen. There is nothing like getting started wizard, no blank dashboard. They really want you exploring right away, and I like that. The voice library, it doesn't have like a voice 1 or a voice 2. Each voice has a character, a name, a portrait, a personality description. This feels more like, casting for a film than configuring a chatbot. If I click on voice design, you can describe a voice in plain English and Hume generates it. That is something I haven't seen anywhere else. Okay, let's go to the TTS playground. The TTS stands for text to speech. This is their standout feature. See these emotion tags at the bottom? There is disgust, anger, sarcasm, grief, joy, anger, horror. You click on any one of them and the voice changes. Most platforms will, they'll give you pitch and speed sliders. Hume gives you emotions. That's a fundamentally different approach. And if you want, I can show you all one example. Let's see. Okay, let me click on sarcasm.
Wow, what an amazing suggestion. I never would have thought of trying to turn it off and on again. Your technical expertise is truly revolutionary. Please, share more of your wisdom.
Love that. Okay, now let's go to the EVI playground. EVI stands for Empathy Voice Interface, and this is the place we will be running our test calls. EVI 3 is their flagship model. I can pick up a voice, set a system prompt, and configure turn detection. I will be testing it for a contact center agent and see how the voice responds. Okay. Let's go to expression measurement. This is something very unique to Hume. It can read emotions from your webcam, from an uploaded audio, or from text. It has around 53 emotions. The question is whether this feeds into the voice agent or this lives as a separate tool. And quick look on their build integrations and developer tools. It has basic analytics under build. It does have integrations with Twilio and VAPI, LiveKit, and 5 SDKs across TypeScript, React, Python, Swift, and .NET. They're not really trying to, own the whole stack. They're just saying that if you want to use our model, you can use it wherever you would want. Okay. Now let's get into the actual voice test. Real test. I'm going to make one call and put Hume through 3 scenarios back to back. One simple question, an emotional escalation, and the press 0 moment. 1 call, 3 tests. Now let's see what happens. I'm using the customer support template. It comes with Claude Sonnet 4 as the language model and a Serene Assistant voice. I have not customized anything. I want to see how it performs out of the box.
Thank you for calling Hume AI. This is Evie. How may I help you today?
Hi, I have a couple of quick questions about your service.
Hi there. I can definitely help you with questions about our service. Before we get started, may I have your name, please? And I can hear you're really interested in learning more. I'm excited to help you out.
What are your business hours?
I'd be happy to help you with that information about our business hours. But first, could I get your name so I can assist you properly today? Once I have that, I'll get you.
What are your business hours?
I understand you're looking for our business hours, and I want to make sure I give you the most accurate information. Let me search for our current support hours for you. Our customer support is available Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific time.
And if I needed help outside of those hours, say on a weekend or late at night, what would my options be?
Great question. If you need help outside our regular hours, you have a few options. You can submit a support ticket through our online portal anytime. We'll respond during the next business day.
Okay,
We also have.
so here's the thing. I've actually been trying to get help with my account for a couple of weeks now, and I keep on getting different answers every time I call. It's getting really frustrating.
I'm really sorry you've been going through that frustration for weeks. That's not the experience we want you to have at all. Let's fix this together right now. Can you tell me your name and what specific issue you've been trying to resolve with your account?
I just need someone to give me a straight answer. Can you help me with my account or not?
Yes, absolutely I can help you with your account. I hear how determined you are to get this resolved, and I'm committed to giving you that straight answer you need.
See, this is exactly what I mean. Every time I ask something simple, I get a long response that doesn't really answer my question.
You're absolutely right. Perfect. I'm ready when you are. What's your name?
Look, I appreciate you trying to help, but can I just speak to a real person, please?
I'm connecting you to a specialist who can assist further.
So let me break down what just happened. 3 things stood out. First, I had to ask for business hours 3 times, and the agent kept asking for my name instead of answering my question. That's the agent who's prioritizing the script over the customer. Now, the second thing is that when I got frustrated and said the answers were too long, the agent said, "You're absolutely right," and immediately shortened its response. Third, when I asked, "I'd like to speak to a real person," the agent said, "I'm connecting you to a specialist," and the call ended. No stalling and no sales switch. So it was a clean transfer. Now let me show you something you can't hear in the audio. Every message, if you see here, every message that I send, it has emotion scores attached. The determination scores, there is, when my determination score was 0.72, actually, let me see. Let me show it to you. My determination score went from 0.29, and if you see here, it went to 0.72. When I pushed harder, the model picked up the distress, disappointment, and even anger to 0.15. It was tracking my emotional arc across the entire call. Now, let's code it. Talk about what Hume costs. The free tier gives you around 10,000 characters per month, enough to prototype and test. No credit card required. That's a low friction entry point. Paid plans, they start at $3 a month for starters and scale up to $14 for creator, $70 for pro, $200 for scale, and $500 for business. Enterprise is custom. All paid plans include commercial licensing. The key difference in Hume's pricing model is that they built their own speech language model. They're not assembling a stack of separate providers like LLM, voice engine, telephony, and paying each one. Hume bundles more of the intelligence into one single platform. Whether that ends up being cheaper or more expensive per minute, it depends upon your usage tier and volume. For a free tier evaluation I'm doing today, I am well within the limits. But if you're scaling to production, you'll want to run the numbers on their per minute costs at your expected volume. Let me show you what Hume gives you on the analytics side. Under the Insights tab, you get the basics: total chats, total chat minutes, error, and timeout tracking over time. Below that, most popular configs, longest conversations by config. It's clean, functional, but it's light. No QA scoring, no resolution rate, no custom alerting. Okay. In the config tab, it shows you your saved agent configuration. You can see that each one lists the LLM, Claude Sonnet 4 in my case, the voice, and the EVI version. You can start from a template or build from scratch. There are 4 templates right now: blank, customer support, Spanish learning companion, and smart companion. Now this is the interesting part. Chat history shows every conversation with a timestamp. Status, event count, it shows everything. Duration, and look at this column. Look at this column, evaluation. This one. Hume is auto-scoring its own conversation. My calm call, where I just asked about their business hours, it was rated as slightly helpful or neutral. Now, in the other call, I didn't tell the system that the call was bad. It figured it out on its own, that it was slightly harmful or very regrettable. That's the kind of self-evaluation a contact center manager would want. You don't have to listen to every call to find the problem once. The system flags them for you. Now coming to the scorecard, I use the same 6 criteria I use for every voice AI platform, and here's how Hume did. Latency and response speed, 8 out of 10. Responses came back near instantly. The pacing, it felt natural and not rushed. Voice naturalness, 8 out of 10. The serene assistant voice, it genuinely had that warmth and didn't sound like a machine reading a script. Speech recognition, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I stumbled over my words a couple of times during the call and the agent didn't break. Clean recognition throughout. Intent classification, 8 out of 10. This one is interesting. When I complained that answers were too long, the agent said, "You're absolutely right," and shortened its response immediately. When I said yup, 1 word, it matched my energy with 5 words. That's impressive adaptation. But I had to ask for business hours 3 times before getting an answer. The agent kept asking for my name instead of answering my question. It was following its script instead of listening to the customer. A good contact center agent answers the question first, then collects the name. Multi-turn context, 7 out of 10. The conversation flowed well and it tracked the general thread, but it didn't reference earlier parts of the call in the later responses. Room to improve here. Escalation and human handoff, 9 out of 10. I said, "Can I just speak to a real person?" The agent said, "I'm connecting you to a specialist." Call ended cleanly, no stalling, no sales pitch, no hanging up on me. Total score, 48 out of 60. That's above the 45 production ready threshold. First time a platform has crossed that in my reviews. Now, coming to the verdict. Will I press 0? So here's the bottom line on Hume AI. What impressed me? The agent adapted to me in real time. When I got frustrated, it mirrored my specific situation back. Weeks of frustration. When I told it that the answers were too long, it said, "You're absolutely right," and shortened immediately. When I said 1 word, "Yup," it matched me with 5. And when I asked for a human, it transferred me cleanly. No stalling, no pitch. Where there is room for improvement, I had to ask for business hours 3 times. The agent kept asking for my name instead of answering. That's the agent prioritizing its script over the customer. And in a real contact center, that creates friction. The emotion labels are getting better, but still debatable on some reads. The analytics dashboard is thin for production use, and there are no vertical templates out of the box. But here's what matters. I ask the same question I ask on every platform. Can this agent handle a frustrated customer who wants to talk to a human? So would I press 0? No. For the first time, I will stay on the line. The agent heard me, adapted to my frustration, shortened its answers when I asked, and transferred me when I needed a human. The emotion detection isn't perfect, but the behavior was. And in a contact center, behavior is what counts. The builder and the brain are in sync. So, if you found this useful, please subscribe. I am reviewing voice AI platforms every week, so you don't have to. Next time, I'm looking at another platform. Same scorecard, same test. You won't want to miss it. Thank you for watching, and remember, if the AI can't help you, you press 0.